Hello, here's a quick tutorial on making a bed and a desk. Let's hit Shift A, make a mesh and a plane. Let's set these dimensions up here to, I think we said 84 and 54. Let's tab into edit mode, extrude up to a height of 24. And that'll give us our total bed height. Now, of course, a bed doesn't go all the way to the ground. It has a couple of layers to it, and then there's a bottom bit as well. So let's put two loop cuts using Control R. So the top loop here, that could be our mattress. This loop could be the box spring and the bed frame. And this bottom loop we can delete. So by holding down Alt and clicking sort of in the direction I want to select a loop of, near that edge. So if I select near this edge, I'll get a loop around. But if I select near this edge, I get a loop around this way. We can hit X and faces, and then that will delete all of those. We can delete this bottom face as well, and we may as well press 2 for edges, hold Alt, select this bottom edge loop here, and push F for face. And let's just make the bed frame come out a little bit too. So I'll put a loop cut there with Control R, 3 for face mode, hold Alt and select these edges, and Alt E, extrude faces along normals and move the mouse up a little bit. You can see it's moving unevenly. Let's tab into object mode. Control, you can see the scale here is not even and it's not 1. So Control A, apply scale. Now when we Alt E, extrude faces along normals, it'll come out evenly. We'll just do a little bit like that. Let's bevel the top of this bed. For some reason, it won't let me select a loop all the way around, but I can just select the face with 3 and then go to Control B to bevel. Let's roll up our mouse wheel until we have some more segments there. There we go. And right click Shade Auto Smooth. It makes it smooth, but we still have these corners. Let's select those. And then let's deselect these ones that we want to be hard edges. By holding Control, we can deselect things. And then let's bevel that with Control B. I'm going to escape this because we're getting some on the bottom. Yes, there's that little bit there that we don't need selected. Control B. There we go. Let's check out this topology. How bad is it? It's not ideal, but it's not terrible. All right, so that makes it nice and smooth all over the place above the frame. That's cool. Let's tab in here. Let's do a loop cut. Okay. Let's make the bottom bit a separate piece. We can do that by selecting. So I had some overlapping vertices. So I hit, I wasn't able to select this loop. Now I can. What I did was, when I didn't do that, I sort of imagined that we probably had some overlapping vertices. You can check that by hitting 1, A to select all, M to merge by distance. And down here at the bottom it says if you got any, but we can see that we did because now we can select that loop cut. So I'm going to select all of those things and hit P for separate selection. You would think it would be S, but S is scale, right? So let's just see what we have done here. So this thing now, I wonder if we can make some loop cuts in it. Yeah, we can make a loop cut basically all the way around. I'm going to turn off auto merge vertices up here in the top right corner. make a loop cut and slide it all the way down. And then I'm going to slide it G, Y, 3 inches. And I'll do one on the other side the same way. And slide it GY negative 3 inches. Now I know they're the same distance apart. I'll do one in this direction as well. GX negative 3. And one over here, GX3. Now we have these nice little squares here that we can use to make the legs. Let's extrude that until we get to the floor. Looks like it's 10 inches. That's too far. You can check that by going into, using the gizmo up here to go into side view. That's GZ2. Yeah, it was 8 inches to the floor. All right, and just for fun, let's scale those. If they don't scale in place, you need to change up here the transform pivot point to individual origins. There we go. But that looks pretty good. So there's a bed. Let's have a blanket on it. So let's do Control R. And is it doing it on the other side? No, it's not going all the way across. So we need to deal with the n-gons here because it won't. We could just make it join. So let's do Control R on this side, scroll it up. Let's do 4. And on the other side, let's do 4 as well. 2, 3, 4. And now in vertex mode, I'll just select these and hit J. And this one and hit J. And select the whole loop, scale Y 0. Select this whole loop, scale Y 0. GG to slide it up a bit. And we need those 2 loops straight for our blanket here. Because what we're going to do is select all of this. We don't need these little faces. Great. And so if you type Shift D, it will duplicate something. And when I don't want to move it, I'll just escape so it doesn't move, and push P to separate by selection. And now that bit is an extra piece. You can see that extra piece there. Let's just move it up here. Let's move it up 25 so that we can look at it. Because I can see there's an extra edge here that I didn't get rid of before. Just sort of check it out. Merge all vertices by distance, remove 4. All right, let's move it down 25, negative 25, to put it back in place. Over here on the little context menu, there's a blue wrench for modifiers. You can add a modifier, solidify. Our scale is 1, so we don't need to apply scale. Let's make this 2 inches thick. Make the offset be 0. And there we go. A little blanket. Pretty nice. Let's apply that modifier. Tab. Select this loop. Alt-E, extrude faces along normals. And that gives us a bit of a beveled blanket there. If we select these 2 loops, we can bevel them. And sort of have like a folded over blanket here. We've got some kind of weird geometry going on here from the, I guess from the solidify. I don't know why that would be. You can go to local view to look at just an object. I don't know how that happened. We can probably fix it though. What on earth? I'm just going to select this bottom loop here and delete the whole thing because we don't need it. What did that happen? What even is that? All these faces are unnecessary as well. And sometimes things get really screwed up by modifiers because they're not concerned about topology. But I don't think I've ever seen it do that before. I wonder if I made a small error or whatever. Shouldn't really be open. Let's go back out of local view and check it out and see what's going on. Yeah. All right, so let's select that loop and that loop. F3, bridge, and if you select a whole loop and you try to bridge, it will tell you that you have to select 2 loops to bridge, but you can turn it into 2 loops by deselecting like that, and then it will bridge it. And that whole thing, let's do scale Z0 to make it totally flat. And then I think we're back in business here. If you have a full-size keyboard, above your number pad, the slash on the number pad will toggle you in and out of local view. So our bed here is looking pretty decent. It's a little bit strange. I'm grabbing these corners here and moving them away from the bed with Shift Z will move it not on the Z axis, so not up and down. And it doesn't hurt because it kind of looks like fabric a little bit. We could take more time to mess with this and make it perfect, but for just a simple low poly bedroom project, this is going to be just fine. Yeah. All right. Cool. So there's your bed. You can add a headboard just by grabbing something back here and going extrude, extrude. And you could do all sorts of decorative things to the headboard, depending on what you want to do here. That is entirely up to you. And so we also need a little tutorial for, better grab the whole thing. Once you have made all these separate objects, you can push Control J to join them together. Let's make a desk as well. Shift A, mesh, plane. Let's make it 48 by 24. Tab into edit mode, extrude 1. Let's move that up. G, Z, 30 inches to desk height. Let's do some loop cuts so we got some legs, so we can slide that down and then G, Y. Oh, we better turn off proportional editing. GY2, no, -2. GY2, GX2, no, -2. GX2. Now we have this this edge all the way around. We can, why did it do that? It's strange. We can grab this and extrude it down a little bit. Grab this top edge here, Alt-D, extrude along normal. Oh, we have to scale this thing. Tab, Control-A, apply scale, Alt-D, extrude along normal. Offset even will keep it from giving that beveled edge that we were getting there. Then we can grab these places for the legs. How did that happen? No. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's slow down here a little bit. E to extrude, Alt-D, Tab, Control-A to apply scale, Alt-D, extrude faces along normals. And when this menu pops up, offset even will be much better. Now I extruded all of these. We can select the legs there and extrude down to the floor. Let's check our view here. There we go. And these two, just for fun, we could sort of scale a little bit. Looks like a pretty nice desk. We could put a little accessory back here if we would like. There we go, kind of cool. All right, kind of an interesting desk. So you can see the same tools that we used for the chair, we used for the desk and the bed as well, in different ways. But these will make great low poly additions to our bedrooms. So thanks, and I'll go over this again in class as well, and I'll see you there.